It's high drama, high stakes, and we're invested in both sides, I think, and that's what makes it so interesting and emotionally charged.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
It's very bittersweet, and right now we're just getting to a point where things are slowly beginning to unfold, but will the truth stick and will justice prevail?
Like, was it really worth it? Because for him, this wedding speaks to more than just getting married to the girl. It's almost, he almost uses it as a moral compass.
These guys are not dangerous. They don't want to hurt anyone. They're just guys, they're amateurs who are trapped. Talk to them.
I'm coming with you.
No, you're not coming with us.
Swaley!
Stay! You're injured!
Oh, it's intense. Today is a particularly cold day for no reason at all, plus wind chill, plus running around in flimsy shirts, because when we started shooting the scene, it was a very, very warm day, and wardrobe was quite accommodating. And so now in this cold, I'm wearing a nice flimsy shirt and running around quite a bit, and lots of action, rolling around. I think I scraped my knee at one point. So it's great fun.
Swaley will come forward with his hands up, try to negotiate and talk to you, up to you.
We arrive and I'm trying to talk the guys down because the negotiator is not there yet, and I don't want to wait, and we're trying to get the driver of the cash van out because it's a cash heist, you see. And then there's all these guns that are popping off everywhere, and I'm firing back. Right? Oh no, that comes later. Hey? That comes later when I put the gun away. I mean,
Mr. Negotiator's out of town on his way.
How long before they get you?
3 hours.
3 hours? I'm totally at 3 hours. I'm not waiting.
I'm loving playing the character of Julia. It's wonderful to, first of all, be reunited with Hlomla after many, many years of being away and coming back to South Africa and getting to play opposite Hlom is a real dream. Julia is a very driven, passionate person, but she's a little short on tact. She's not a people person, so she tends to make not easy to make friends with her, and she's really driven in terms of what she needs to get in terms of the case that she's working on, and I think she's quite a loner, and she has some issues with dealing with other people, but I love playing that because I'm such a people pleaser. So it's wonderful to be able to be a little bit like brutal at times. She just says what she thinks, and so it's been fun in terms of Zweli and Julia's relationship.
So please, yeah, running onto there, grab hand.
I've really enjoyed working with the director. All 3 directors that I've gotten to work with have been fantastic. Very exciting and innovative, and Johnny is taking on a huge thing today with this Nelson Mandela Bridge location shoot, and he's rocking it.
This guy runs away, he comes back, give me my gun. Maybe he doesn't even give his gun. Maybe he says, he puts the gun away and he pretends like he doesn't have a gun. So he gets him to safety, one person jumps, he turns her around, second person starts moving, Zweli fires, ga, 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 but this guy gets away. Other cops all start swarming behind him. Cobra comes out and we do our final set piece where he tries to get over, he falls, Zweli shoots him in the foot, he goes down. When he goes down, everyone swarms around him.
And what has happened is that in 2017 and 2018, we've had this huge spate of cash and transfer heists and these ATM bombings. They just mushroomed all over the place. And we brought in 3 of our most beloved characters, which is Cobra, Opa, and Percival. They return into the community and start to do cash and transfer heist. And the climax, we thought, you know the way Americans will do the big love scene at Brooklyn Bridge, the Empire State Building. That's where you do the climax of all these big blockbuster movies. And we thought, okay, when we climax the cash and transfer heist, what is the iconic landmark in South Africa that we can use to climax the storyline? It was interesting. I said Nelson Mandela Bridge, and everybody's like, no, it's not possible. How do you shut down Nelson Mandela Bridge? But we're insistent, and we've got such an amazing team of producers and directors, and the whole production staff really worked hard to pull it off so that we can able to shut down the entire Nelson Mandela Bridge for a whole day and shoot that sequence. And I think it's probably one of the most amazing action sequences you have ever seen on South African television.
My name is Presley Chwenyachaye, and I play Cobra, Tuso Mokoena, and I belong to the Mokoena family in the story.
Miss Kat?
Cobra, Uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinahana horo itse maybe pandagne of withe ko ntlunyaka. Go pay something nice. Let's eat dinner nyana, wa itse go ba romantic nyana. O sleep over again.
Miss Kat?
Well, I think it's been quite interesting, and I think I'm fortunate enough to be able to work with the cast that I work with, because there's a lot of good energy that we share together. We push a lot of ensemble work, I can say. And, we always motivate one another off and on screen, and we share jokes. And sometimes, another character will push you to the places where you didn't expect you'd go. So that's been the amazing part of it.
I think the river personifies what's happening in South Africa, very much so. The two worlds are exactly that. You have the haves and the have-nots. You almost look into worlds where how do they go about day-to-day lives, For me, the Malifu family is very exaggerated, and that's, I can resonate with that, having grown up in the township with very little, we had each other.
Everything via Shabu.
And then you have my family, the Dlamini family, who are just functional. Everything is just functional because we don't have to worry about the house, lights. You have more time to enjoy the quality of life. More time to be with family. You're not exhausted, you're not angry, you're not worried about the bill. So for me, those palettes are really nice to look at, and going, these people, happiness is almost a must. Like, if we're not smiling today, we have to think about everything that's wrong. Whereas with my family, the haves, we're just genuinely unhappy today. You know, and most people may perceive that as being ungrateful because we've got so much access, but I'm allowed to be unhappy about today in my Porsche, in my Mercedes, and I'm allowed to. I'm having a crappy day. So those palettes are really interesting to play with and to see, and I hope the audience can grab that and have that for themselves and see the texture.
My name is Laruna Moahi. I play Itumeleng Mokoena on the river, and I am from the poor side of the story. I'm from the Mokoena household. It consists of my mother Malifu, my brother Cobra Mokoena, and baby Dimpo. My father passed on at the beginning of the story. So the story is just about us making it through with not much money and just having each other and our love. I always say this, I'm just like, Tumi is she's different to who Laruna is. You know, she's a bit naive every now and again, but we also share similar traits, you know, her boldness. She's very courageous and she's a very passionate woman, and I think that is somebody I am too. You know, but just getting to the depth of understanding where she comes from. You know, she's a character who's experienced quite a lot within the first couple of months. You know, there's death, there was betrayal all around her, she had to make really tough decisions in order to keep herself sane and to protect the ones that she loves. I love Heist designs. I think they're so beautiful. So I was very excited. Trying it on I was like, well, this thing is really huge. I didn't expect it to be as heavy and as big as it was, but it was just exciting. I think I'm honored to say that I once wore a Gert Johan Kazee dress. So yeah, it was very heavy and there were so many hands on me. Like I needed like 5 people to fit into the actual dress. But hey man, it was exciting.
Oh, baby girl. You look so beautiful.
What did Lunga think when he saw Tumi in the bridal gown? Well, I liked it as Lunga. As Lindani, obviously, you understand that for him in the story, it's basically the last chapter for any chance of happiness with the love of his life. So it's very painful for him. For a lot of the day, I was going through those emotions of you're a failure in love because the one true example of love that you ever had, you lost to another man.
And then they start doing the, what do you call that thing in English? Vows. And then when we start doing the vows, we're gonna be here. So which means we need to cut it before.
Zolani he's romantic. I think everybody deserves a Zolani in their life. He's so sweet. He goes the extra mile for Itumeleng, and I'm just like, every woman deserves that in their lives, you know? But he's dangerous, man. Like, he helped kill my daddy. So, you know, just as Laruna, I'm like, this guy does not deserve her. But Lindani, as well, he's very sweet. He's just very genuine, and I think just the friendship that him and Itumeleng have had, you know, I mean, they're like childhood friends, and they grew up together, and you know, that friendship is just so, they deserve a chance at true love. So, but I don't know.
Damn it! In magic, you wanna walk you below you. Kunzalan. The master don't put your ones on a moment. I can go on some photo success. Okay,
Playing Lindani has been challenging at times, but very exciting. He's a big believer in love. And I suppose that's one trait that I'd love to take from him, that love does cure all. Love always has the answer in the end. He's very challenged though when it comes to that. There's never too much of a happy ending for him. He has glimpses of happiness here and there, but a lot of his life is filled with trauma, but he carries on and soldiers on anyway.
Braga, kena Jacob, Tamala Tep.
So Zolani, the character that's getting married, is Lindiwe's nephew. So he is Lindiwe's cousin brother's son who's passed on. And to Lindiwe, Zolani feels like Zolani is her second chance in life. Since she lost a daughter when she was younger, and after losing that daughter, I don't know whether losing the daughter or giving the daughter away or placing the daughter next to the river, I don't know what to call it, but she feels like Zolani is her redemption. It's like she's redeeming herself in life by raising Zolani up. So the wedding for her is a bittersweet feeling for Lindiwe, because I think she doesn't want to let Zolani go.
It's my daughter who's getting married, and it's been a difficult wedding to get together. I'm hoping she's marrying the right guy. There's some challenges in the middle of the wedding that make me wonder. And my daughter and I got to this point through a very difficult moment in our relationship. So in terms of my character, it's like a coming of age for the mother, that now she has a daughter who's becoming a wife. And it will obviously change the dynamics in the family going forward. But that's the real importance of it. It's mostly for my daughter, marrying to a very wealthy family, and me having to adjust to that.
For the wedding, I think it was clear that Zolani, he's gonna kill me for saying this, but he's a very flamboyant director, and he's over the top, and we knew that he would really bring in elements that we might have not thought about when writing the script.
Speaking the things that you never thought of. And you trying to jump in. Every single time when I have a picture, something huge to shoot, I always have to find something within myself and ask myself if I was someone that has to do the other jobs, how will I do it? So when I come in with 20 times the energy than the other people, so I can able to spread it amongst everybody. When we're shooting something like this, like a wedding that has to be really amazing, you just have to make sure that everybody has the same energy as you. Even there are people that don't have that kind of energy. You have to find a way of giving them that kind of energy, so that when you are shooting, you're able to achieve what you've seen in your thoughts. So basically, that's what I use. I spend time listening to a lot of music just to make sure that I have that kind of energy that when I start shooting, I can give out to the people. Because it's, yeah. I think that's great. Yeah. Yes.
I found that this particular production, we gel really well. The alchemy has been really, really fantastic from day one. Love, and it's a combination of really well experienced actors who are kind of middle of the way, and you've got actors who are brand new, but all of us, we've just really gelled really well, and that's true for the crew as well. Generally, crews are quite, they work exceptionally hard. Being a crew member is a tough, thankless job. And yet here, despite the pressures, and the pressures are many, there's a sense of camaraderie. We're fighting the fight together. And so it's been an amazing experience. It really, really has. You know.
I think they've done an incredible job. I can't give away much, but it looks beautiful. That's all I can say.
You know what is key is that South African television it's in a transition state. I think for years there was this concept where you work in a crew where everybody's miserable, everybody can stand the producer, everybody can stand the director, and everybody's just plain rude to each other. And what really was the basis of who we are, Gwyd and I, as a production company, was we wanted our ethos to bleed in to the entire production, in that you have to treat everyone with respect. You have to engage with everyone the same way. And I think for us, that was key, was that as you know, we've been together for like what, a year now, probably going to a year. And what you found was that as time goes on, as you shift and move the puzzle of such a big production, some people's ethos and their ideologies don't fit where this train is moving. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad people. It just means that who they are and where they're aligned, it's not aligned with the vision we wanted with the production.
I don't know how it went. I'm actually curious. I really am. It's one of those. It's one of those where I'm as much a fan of the show as I am a co-creator in the show.
And then once everybody is gone,
I've worked on a lot of productions, and I can say without a shadow of doubt that this is by far the best production that I've ever done. The thing with the telenovela, unlike a soap, is that when you pitch it to channel, you have to have the end. So you have to have the beginning, the middle, and the end. So we knew how it would end when we presented it. What becomes tricky though is that sometimes we present the concept with the idea that certain characters would die, whatever. And then we fall in love with those characters, or they become very popular, so then we tweak whatever we can, and then we just go back to the drawing board and to channel to say, look, we might have jumped the gun a bit here. So I think the ending will surprise a lot of people, and season 2 will even be more surprising.
If there's one thing I have to say about The River is that everyone says the same thing. It's like you are watching a movie every single day. Everyone puts so much work into it. There's no shortcuts, the preparation from the actors, from the crew. I don't think we've ever had a wedding this big of this magnitude on SATV ever, and it's going to take a lot for people to beat it.